What's good, everybody? My name is Daniel. Welcome. In today's video, I want to talk about karmic relationships. And the reason I want to talk about this in particular is because I've had a good experience with this myself. Now, I'm by no means a psychologist, but this is something which I feel which might apply to some people. Now, you might be familiar with twin flames and soulmates. A twin flame is a divine reflection of who you are, and my personal belief is they generally come into your life when you're in complete alignment with who you are, and you truly accept and love yourself unconditionally. And that's not always the case, sometimes people do get blessed with a divine counterpart so they can grow together, and the feeling they have towards each other is mutual. Soulmates are people who, we have many soulmates on this planet, who are people who we resonate with deeply, who we get along with. Then we have twin flames, and twin flames are, like I said, a divine counterpart. Usually they say there's only one twin flame. I don't know about that. I don't know. Yeah, could be true. Could be a myth. And then you have karmic relationships. Now, with karmic relationships, karma. What is karma? Karma is the energy you're resonating at. Now, let me give you a specific example of my own. My father was never in my life much. And as a child, I used to have these fantasies of, oh my God, I can't wait for him to come back so we can spend lots of time together. And this, I remember this clear as day. And I used to fantasize like he's going to come back, we're going to spend lots of time together, we're going to have such a good time. And I was investing a lot of energy in romanticizing an idea of being with my father, even though when he did come, things were slightly different. He'd spend less time with his children, because I'm not the only child, he's got other children as well. And not to say, I'm a victim because of him, but it's to say that my frequency, my patterns from my childhood are what I'm emitting towards other people in relationships today. I read this awesome thing where it said that as children, we are codependent to our parents depending on what kind of bondage we have with them. And then as we grow older, we emit these same attachments and energies towards the relationships we invest in. And I, for one, met this girl who I felt deeply attracted to, and I couldn't understand it. I thought she was something amazing, something I've never experienced before, because it's such an intense feeling, and love isn't even the word. It's a gravitational pull so strong that you don't know what it is. It's quite mystical, to be honest. And these things are quite inevitable. And what I soon discovered is this person, me for example, I was walking around, and probably still am, holding on to a lot of abandonment challenges, because my father was never in my life, and I settled with the fact that he's not going to be in my life, and I just accepted that, okay, he's not there, and part of me must have felt abandoned. I'm sure it did, and I can feel that. And then I met this person in particular, and she was someone who was, instead of feeling abandoned, she felt it wasn't safe to express how she truly feels. And I've seen this pattern emerging for years, for a couple of years now. And the funny thing is, you can bounce from relationship to relationship, and if your energy isn't in harmony with yourself, you will keep attracting these kinds of scenarios. And that's what's happened with myself. Having abandonment issues, I've somehow managed to gravitate people towards me who are emotionally disconnected, who aren't willing to express, who aren't comfortable expressing how they really feel, because they grew up in a household where they felt that it's safer to disconnect from expressing emotions than it is to express. And you can see how this creates a perfect imbalanced balance. Now, I'll be the person who's expressing how I'm feeling, being needy per se, and then the other person is the one that's keeping their emotional side withdrawn, disconnected. They tend to flee from the relationship, and then I'll be the one saying, what's going on here? Why are they disappearing? Why aren't they investing in it? Why aren't they committing? And it honestly makes sense now to the fact that it's an energy dynamic. And I'm doing a lot of emotional healing currently, and I wanted to share this because I feel like there's so many people out there struggling and just wondering, why am I attracting certain kinds of people into my life again and again. And whether it's a similar karmic pattern to mine or a different one, I hope this really helps you with understanding where you're currently at and what it is you need to do. For me, it's healing that bondage I have with my father, forgiving my father, learning to accept that, he couldn't physically be there for me. But it doesn't mean that I'm abandoned. And also another very important thing is, if you study Greg Braden, he talks about how these relationships are inevitable. You will pull people into your life to help you, expose you to the shadows of your personality. And when you do experience these relationships, take your time to really delve deep into what it is that's creating this story. For me, it was this feeling of, I seen this woman and I thought, wow, she's got so much confidence. She expresses herself so authentically. She's always happy, and I projected this image onto her, thinking if I get her, then I will attain that confidence and that happiness. Whereas Greg Braden said, if you look at the other person who you're magnetically drawn to and ask yourself the question, what is it that I see in them that I can't see in myself? And when you learn to accept that you're projecting something onto the other person, and you can learn to start cultivating it internally, that's where the healing occurs. Because a lot of wounds that we walk around with are developed in our early childhood years. And this particular example for me, it's been running up until now, and I'm intentionally working on healing these emotional bondages, and over time get into a more wholesome and balanced, nurturing relationship. So that was a little bit about karmic relationships, twin flames, and soulmates. There's obviously so much more to delve into this. I'm not an expert by any means, but this is what I've learned so far. I do love the whole work behind love and what it truly means to love, and everybody's definition is different, right? Some people it's codependent, some people it's attaining your own self-love mastery. Um, Everyone's got different labels, but ultimately it's self-discovery, and we are not bound to these programmings that we've been given in our childhood. So blessings to you. I hope this really helped you, and all the pain you experience, it's needed, without labeling it being um, wrong and the other person's not right and there's something wrong with you. Learn to find the meaning inside these painful scenarios and learn to grow and expand, because if you truly are about living life with the highest amount of love, these experiences are only opening situations for you to experience a higher degree of love. And people come into your life specifically to teach you lessons. So do reach out to me if you want me to share any more of my story. If you're having something similar, I'll definitely, share my thoughts and views. But I do hope this has helped you, and take care.